member for Northumberland, Peterborough South.
We all know, Canadians have never had it so good. We hear it over and over again. During Wednesday's question period, the Prime Minister guaranteed to the Canadian public, those who are counting on interest rates going down, that they will start coming down in the next 2 months. That's great news. The problem? The Bank of Canada, the organization that actually decides interest rates, says they haven't decided that yet. So, Mr. Speaker, simple question for the government. Who's lying, the Governor of the Bank of Canada or the Prime Minister?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Finance.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Based on what the Conservatives are saying, then they are going to need to explain to Canadians how Canada is rated #1 for budget balance by the International Monetary Fund, maintains a AAA credit rating reaffirmed by Moody's just yesterday, has the best net debt to GDP ratio and the lowest deficit in the G7, has been projected by the IMF and the OECD to have the strongest economic growth in the G7, and is #1 in the world when you adjust per capita in foreign direct investment. Mr. Speaker, on this side of the House, we continue to lead. On that side of the House, they continue to mislead.
The Honourable Member for Northumberland, Peterborough South.
Mr. Speaker, over the last 6 quarters, we've had declining GDP per capita growth. We've had 0 GDP per capita growth in the last 10 years. And this government's response, more spending money, more spreading fire on the already burning out of control inflationary fire. $61 billion in new spending. But once again, I ask, Canadians are barely hanging on. Some of them are going to lose their houses short. Will they stand behind the Prime Minister's word and guarantee that interest rates will go down? Or is it more misinformation from this government?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Deputy Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, Canadians shouldn't listen to the trumped-up rhetoric of the Conservatives when it comes to our economy. Just yesterday, the independent Governor of the Bank of Canada reaffirmed that due to our commitment to the key fiscal guardrails we have put in place, that he believes, and I quote, "Since the government's net fiscal plan hasn't changed a lot, I don't think it's going to have a big effect on our projections for the economy or inflation." And with inflation in the target range for 3 months in a row, Canadians have reason for hope. Conservatives are looking to cut our investments in the middle class, and we're not going to let them.